Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode. The theme of this episode is relationship drama. So let's get into it. The title of the first story is My Boyfriend Displayed My Nudes on a Wall of Women He and His Friends Have Slept With. I feel like my life has been ruined. This all just happened 1 hour ago and I'm really shaken. Sorry if it's too long. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years and 4 months. We met at the college that we go to. My parents live in the same city where our school is, but my boyfriend lives about 6 hours away. When school's in session, we both live on campus. I haven't been able to see him since it closed due to COVID and we had to go home. Some background. My boyfriend has a group of friends in his hometown that I've never liked. They've been friends since high school, and believe me when I say that they still belong in high school. 2 of them are brothers from a rich family who don't work or go to school. They spend their days smoking weed and playing video games. One of the other friends is in the military, and the 2 last friends, and as well as my boyfriend, are in college but all go to different schools. It's pretty rare that they all are home at the same time, especially with one being in the military because he's away a lot. My boyfriend is really protective of the time that they have together. I've spent a lot of time with these guys because every time I visit my boyfriend's hometown, I see at least the 2 brothers. You may be wondering why I don't like these friends. For one, they don't believe in girlfriends. My boyfriend is the only one in the group who has been in a relationship for longer than a few months. They think women are good enough for sex and not much else. I'm not putting words in their mouths. One of them literally told me to my face. I'm very outspoken, so they hate me because I call them out on their bullshit. It goes without saying that it's basically their mission to convince my boyfriend to dump me. Whenever there's an issue between his friends and I, he just tries to stay out of it. He doesn't stand up for me. I hate who he becomes when he's trying to impress those assholes. The majority of our arguments have been a result of him allowing his friends to treat me like shit. They've been rude or blatantly ignored me. My boyfriend is the calmest, sweetest, most wonderful person, or so I thought. I never understood why he kept them around when it was so clear to me that he had outgrown them. It appeared that they had pretty much nothing in common. But I see now how alike they are after all. For the record, I knew I should have held him more responsible for his friends. However, it was just too easy to put them out of my mind. They were only ever an issue if they were outwardly rude to me during one of the weeks per year I hung out with them. The rest of the time, he was a really great boyfriend. I never imagined him hurting me this way. So back to the story. The 2 brothers live in a house that's detached from the main one that their parents live in. It's where they all usually hang out. I've been there many times. It has its own kitchen and everything. It's literally a smaller house. They also have a basement that I've only seen a couple times because it's their man cave. I never cared to enter anyways. I had no idea, but apparently down there all of the friends have this wall that has their names on it and pictures of the women that they've effed lodged below. Apparently not all the pictures are sexual, but there are mostly nude pictures because they have this sick point system like it's a game and they get more points if the picture is a nude. I guess all the pictures look like they were taken with the knowledge of the woman in the photo, but I doubt any of them knew it was going to be effing tacked up on display. They've been doing this for years. I'm disgusted and horrified and devastated because I had no idea that this type of man was the man that I was with. I found out because I'm friends with the sister of the 2 brothers, and she saw the wall herself. She reached out to me only because I'm the only one that she knows personally. She said that my boyfriend had the least amount of pictures by his name. She showed me the picture of me he had tacked on the wall. It was a full body nude I had sent over a year ago. Thankfully, it doesn't have my face in it, but I have a tattoo on my thigh that makes it very obvious the woman in the picture is me. I would never consent to those guys seeing my body that way. I let my boyfriend because I trusted him. I feel shocked, embarrassed, betrayed, violated, objectified, and a little bit frightened. I called my boyfriend, I admit, in hysterics. It took many attempts before he was able to understand what I was saying. He at first denied the existence of this wall. Then he admitted it exists, but he didn't use a real picture of me. He used a picture of someone else and pretended that it was me. I told him I'd seen the picture, and I knew damn well that it was me. Then he started sobbing hysterically, begging for forgiveness. Then he was annoyed at me for being so upset and asked what the big deal was, since I'm hot anyway. I just hung up because I can't talk to him. I can't look at him. I feel physically nauseous thinking about what he did. How he could not only share my nudes with his friends who look down on me, who treat me badly for being a woman, he allowed those men to have access to my body. I've never been so wrong about a person. I could never forgive him. I think I may want to press charges if I can get the sister to send me more pictures of the wall, but I'm sure my boyfriend has alerted his friends, so they could be taking it down as I type this. I'm heartbroken. I don't know how I'm going to tell my family because they're very conservative. They don't even know about my tattoo. I'm so ashamed. I don't know what to do. It's really, really true to me that you are who you surround yourself with. Like, that is such a valid statement. And that's why you should always question someone if they are so different from all of their friends. Then the reality of the situation is they probably aren't showing you the side of themselves that is similar to their friends, because this guy, and I know like guys are a little bit different in the sense that like they can be friends with people who, because they don't talk like deep like that, like they are so surface level friends, and they can be friends because it's like if you connect on like one thing, then it's like that's all you talk about or whatever. Like if you guys like, say two guys like football, then like they just hang out and go watch football together, and that's like how they hang out. They don't talk about anything deeper than that. But like to have all these friends, like all of his best friends in this big group, all feel the same way about women, all misogynistic, dumb mother effers, to be quite frank with you, disgusting little incels. Like they're clearly incels. They're like, I don't believe in girlfriends. Yeah, probably because you can't get one because you're a loser. So go sit in your little basement where you belong. That's like literally typical incel behavior, sitting in your basement and be a loser. Honestly, all of those girls are probably not even real. Like they probably get them all from the internet and they say they banged them, but they never did. Like I wouldn't be surprised at all. They're disgusting. Hopefully you can find a way to like make him and his friends pay for this, but yeah, never believe someone is different than who they surround themselves with, like truly, because how can you get along with people that have this strong of beliefs and this like deep rooted misogyny if you're not also sharing the same beliefs, you know? Especially being such close friends with them. Like it's not like, oh, they're just buddies who go golf together. They're buddies who like he's obsessed with. He said he's like gets really protective with. They have their own little man cave like that they don't let anyone else go into. And then the fact that he's like trying to gaslight you and saying like, why does it matter because you're hot? Like, okay, so that means that I want my picture on a wall displayed in front of people that I didn't know were gonna see my picture, that I didn't consent to seeing my picture of my naked body. Like, you're actually insane. Someone said you should press charges, even if you only have the picture of yourself. And if you haven't already, break up and block this guy, along with all of the other guys. I'm so sorry this happened to you. You should take legal action if that's possible. What a horrible thing for these boys to do. Absolutely disgusting. See, like, I always like wonder if you hate women so much and you're so obsessed with guys, and don't get me wrong, I'm an ally. I love gay people, but are you in the closet and you're like angry or something? Like, are you guys wanking each other off down there and you're just like so angry at the world because you feel like, I don't know, you have these misogynistic values and you're like, that's just what it's giving. It's like, maybe you should take a look in the mirror for a second and like come out of the closet. Because it's just crazy that like you hate women so much. I mean, I'm not saying gay people hate women. That's not the message I'm trying to convey. But it's like you're so pissed at them because you don't find them attractive. That's feels like the energy that I'm getting from this. Or maybe they're just fucking losers. Okay, this is a 2 months later update. I wasn't prepared for it to blow up as much as it did. Thankfully, aside from a few slut-shaming messages or creeps PMing me for nudes, the majority of the messages I received were so wonderfully supportive that it motivated me to make some big decisions I will get to momentarily. I've even become friends with a few Redditors who reached out to me through my post. I thought I'd give an update on the situation for those of you who have been asking as my small attempt at a thank you. I'm sorry if it gets removed again. So the first thing I did was tell my family what happened to me. I separately told my mom. She was not angry at me like I had feared, not even after learning about my tattoo. She hugged me for a long time and we both cried. Then I had to tell everyone else. My dad was upset with my ex, but later he apparently told my mom that I'd broken his heart and I'm a whore. He doesn't know I know he said that, as my mom swore me to secrecy, but it was soul-crushing to hear. My relationship with him is virtually non-existent now. It's like we have a silent agreement to interact as little as possible. The rest of my family has been supportive of me with a few outliers. So, I did it. I put on my big girl pants and went to the police. They let me give a tearful interview, and that's about all I've done as of now. I knew the odds of getting charges to stick in a case like this would be difficult, but I thought the police would try. I don't even believe my ex-boyfriend has been contacted. Yes, my ex-boyfriend. I know the way that I titled my last post confused some people, but rest assured, he is an ex. I've only spoken to him once since my post. We talked on the phone for hours about everything. I admit it was really emotional because even though he betrayed me, I still loved him and it was hard to let go of the good times. His mood changed a lot throughout and it was really jarring. One moment he'd be crying, the next he would be angry, telling me I was giving up on him. In one particularly nasty moment of his, he confessed to me that my nude had been deducted points amongst him and his friends because of a faint stretch marks that I have on my breasts. Normally I feel good about my body, but I have to admit that confession was the last blow in this whole effed up situation that took me down. I still toy with the idea of telling his mother everything when I'm feeling especially angry. I have no idea any of the women in those photos were underage. The only one I know of who was on that wall is myself. The sister who told me everything immediately shut down and refused to help me any further after a while. I don't know if the wall is still up anymore. I can't blame her that much, but it did suck because she was really my only chance at getting justice. I don't know how many of my nudes those men saw. I don't know if they're online. I reverse image search them constantly out of paranoia. Not everything to come out of this has been bad. Something I hope warms your heart as much as it does mine is something my mom came up with. She claims to like my tattoo so much that she wants one herself. She and I are going to get a matching tattoo together once the world goes back to normal. One she chose herself, and even more importantly, I saw my ex for who he really is now, so I get to move on and potentially find a man/woman with a soul. Thanks again to all of you. Much love. I literally I cannot relate more to searching your picture online. I wasn't I've told you guys about the story of the guy I sent a nude to in literally 8th grade, but he was I was in 8th grade middle school and he was a freshman in high school at the time. And I sent him a nude, and then so long after I sent that, I think I'd been in it was a year and a half later, I had randomly heard my friends told me, which were these girls even my friends? Because literally every time something bad would happen, these girls were 2 years older than me. I think 2 years, maybe even 3. So I always thought I had this was a separate little friend group that I had that I would hang out with occasionally. And they were kind of big sisters to me. But I told you guys that these were the people I was with when I was 13 and a 27-year-old took advantage of me, which I'm not even going to say hooked up with anymore because that's obviously not what happened. So they shamed me after that. I told you guys about that. And then they also, when this happened, when my nudes had gotten out because this stupid guy was spreading my nude around from literally a year and a half ago, why did you keep it? That's so crazy. They shamed me for that too. They were such shamers. And these girls were they slept with a lot of guys. So I'm not sure why they were judging me. I was wait, what's going on? You guys literally, which all power to you, never judged them one bit. They slept with a new guy every night. They had threesomes every weekend. They were having orgies. They were crazy. I never once judged them, but one picture of me from a year ago when I was in 8th grade gets out and they are on my ass. And I'm okay. Way to make me feel so much better. I'm already freaking out because great, a nude of me is being spread around the school. I love that. But I think I looked it up a couple years ago because there was this website that had gotten out and it was crazy. And I don't remember how I found it, but I had it was crazy. I don't even remember what the hell this website was, but like 4 years ago, probably, I don't even know. Me and my friend were like going through something, and we saw maybe on Twitter or something of like a mutual, this like website that you can go to the town. I think I've talked about this before, but you can go to the town that you like want to look at whose nudes or like naked pictures of people. So I went to my town that I grew up in because I was like, I want to see if my like old nudes are on here, because God forbid. Honestly, that would literally be, what is it? I know you guys have corrected me before. It's not CP, but I can't think of what you guys said to call it instead. I'm not even going to look it up because what? I'm not going to look that up. But anyways, correct me again because I forget what it's supposed to be called. But that would literally be CP if it was, because I was like 12 years old when that picture was taken. But I wanted to see so bad. And then I ended up seeing like all these girls that I knew from school. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Because obviously it wasn't like a consensual website. It was like people, like stupid men, were putting these girls' nudes on this website. And basically you could go through and look through any town in the United States of America that you wanted and see like all these nudes from girls that live there. Like wild. I wonder if that website still exists. And God forbid, I hope it doesn't, because that was so crazy. I was like, oh my God, I know that girl. And then I like kept scrolling. Oh my God, I know that girl. Like what the hell? I was friends with her in high school. Like what the hell? That is so insane. But I wasn't on there. Thank God. I honestly didn't really send that many nudes. Well, maybe I'm lying. I think I did send, but like not to a lot of people. It was more like one specific guy I was like really obsessed with. Don't ask me why, because he was uggo. Okay, the top comment says, what the F is wrong with those guys? And then someone said, every man in that story, including her father, failed her. Yeah, her father can actually suck a D-I-C-K. A big one. Like, seriously? You're so scary for that. That reminds me of, like, the freaking Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, when if you guys watch that show, when Taylor Frankie Paul was talking about, like, how she went and slept with her ex when she found out that, I don't even know, but he was like, you let him sleep with you, like all of this stuff. And then she was like, exactly, that's what I'm saying, I was trash. And he was like saying like, what does that say about you, when it was literally the guy's fault. It was like, oh, okay, the misogyny is showing, the Mormon culture, the toxic Mormon culture is showing. Like, I was so scared at that. I was like, whoa, you did not just say that to your daughter. You did not just say that. It's her stepdad, but like she basically calls him her dad because he like raised her. So, but if my dad did this, yeah, I wouldn't talk to him ever again, and I wouldn't even feel bad about it, because good riddance. Okay, the title of the next story is, I, female 26, got a message saying my husband, male 28, is cheating on me. The message was from his ex-girlfriend's best friend. A bit of background. He and I have been together 6 years. We have a pretty solid relationship. Never get into arguments with each other. He's very open and will openly express how he's feeling or what he's thinking, and we're always on the same page of things. Before we got together, my husband lived across the country about 4 states away. We met because of work, and we hit it off right away. So we kept in touch for the next year via text until he decided he wanted to be with me, so he transferred his job over to the city that I lived in. We've been together ever since, and things have been dandy. A year before we dated, my husband dated this chick, Charlene, for about 2 years until she left him. I knew about her, but have never met her or even given her a thought until a few months into our relationship, when my husband received a text from her. Charlene texted him to say she thinks I hacked into her social media profiles. He asked her why this was, and she didn't give much of a reason other than to say that she's been hacked. So I handed over my devices to my husband to show him I definitely didn't hack into any of her profiles. I don't even know how to do it. So he texted her saying sorry, but it wasn't me, and he didn't know who it was, and that was that. Then a few days later, husband started getting weird texts and calls from people he didn't know, saying oddly vulgar things. We didn't know why till his friend told him Charlene posted a status with his phone number saying, "This person has hacked into my profile and is stalking me." My husband doesn't have her on social media, so he had no idea. Nothing really came of it. He managed to block the numbers, and thankfully the harassment didn't last. Flash forward to 5 years now, and we haven't heard from or about Charlene at all, and promptly forgot about it. Husband's sister just had a baby in the town my husband is originally from, where Charlene lives. And since he hasn't been there in like 6 years, we decided to go down to see his family. We go down and everything is cool. He reaches out to some of his old pals to say hey, and we meet a few of them. Over the next few days, I get random friend requests from girls I don't know. 2 girls who are from this small town. It shows husband isn't a mutual friend with any of them, and I ask him who these girls are, and he says he doesn't really know. But one seems familiar, and he might have gone to school with one. I think it's weird and just delete their requests. Then the next night, I get a message request on Instagram. It's from a different girl I don't know that also lives in this town. She straight up tells me she knows my husband from childhood, and he's been messaging her on Tinder. She sends me screenshots of my husband messaging her, saying he's around and wants to hook up or something. I immediately show my husband, of course, and right away he drops what he's doing and hands me his phone unlocked. Tells me that isn't him, and he wants me to go through his phone so that I feel reassured. I go through everything, messages, Instagram, social media, etc. I look at his apps, there's no Tinder. I go to his search bar, still no Tinder. He opens his app store to show me it's not downloaded. He downloaded Tinder and entered his phone number into the login from where I'm from. If you go to login and type in your number, it just sends you a code with a login, and it didn't even have his number registered. We look at the messages again, and he recognizes the girl as one of Charlene's best friends from college. Now, there are a few odd things with Tinder screenshots that this chick sends me. 1, it says my husband's account is verified with a little check mark. 2, his profile picture on Tinder is a really old one from his brother's Facebook, like 3 or 4 years old. His brother is the only one that still is friends with Charlene on Facebook, and it's the only lone photo of my husband on my brother's profile. It's a photo my husband actually hates because he's not smiling and he has his tongue out, but his brother keeps it up always to bug him, despite my husband asking him to delete it before to no avail. Another thing is the way my husband talks in the Tinder screenshot is a bit different than how he usually texts to me in general. It's very expressive, like, "Hey," 2 exclamation points, "How are you?" 2 question marks, "Remember me?" Smiley face. And he usually doesn't type like that. But here's the one thing that's just weird and makes me feel uneasy. The message exchanges on Tinder are throughout the day, gradually, and not back and forth right away. It just happens that whenever husband replies, it was the only 2 times that we weren't together during the day. Like this. My husband at 2:30 p.m. "Hey, how are you? Remember me?" Girl, "Yeah, hey, what's up?" Husband at 4:54. "Not much, just visiting my sister." So at 2 o'clock, I had ran to the grocery store and was texting my husband what I should grab for his sister's house. That's why I know the time. At 4-ish, we arrive at sister's, and after helping with supper, husband uses the bathroom. He's not in there long, but I sent him a text with the poop emoji to be silly. That was at 4:54. So the fact that it's around the same times where I'm not around him is definitely unnerving. Though the screenshots show that they talk for longer after, but I can't see the times for the rest of the combos, and frankly, I don't want to message this girl back and ask because it seems sketchy. Anyways, husband has never really been on the phone in general this whole trip, so it's not like I see him sitting in the corner constantly texting. The people we met up with from school the other day are close friends with Charlene and a girl who messaged me, so they could have easily told them why we were here and that we were visiting his sister. It's a bit of a weird coincidence that this girl who's friends with Charlene happens to reach out to me while we're down for the first time in 6 years specifically to visit his sister. We also just purchased a condo together 3 days before, and so it doesn't make sense at all why my husband would decide to cheat on me now. Not to mention, why would he decide to hook up with Charlene's friend while I'm with him on this trip? LOL. Why would he use that super old photo from Facebook that Charlene has access to? Plus, he surrendered his phone immediately and showed me everything once I talked to him. The only thing that rattles my brain is the profile verification and the times the messages were sent. I believe her husband, honestly, because that all sounds very calculated, like Charlene is doing this on purpose, and maybe like seeing or hearing that he was in town like triggered her and was like, "I'm gonna do this because since I know this personal information, maybe she'll believe me and then I'll ruin their relationship or whatever." I don't know what the hell Charlene's agenda is and like what she has against you. It's kind of crazy to be doing this after so long. Like, you guys are full-blown adults. You guys are moving into like houses you're married. Like, why is she so obsessed? Like, move on with your life, Charlene, and calm down. But I don't think the profile verification is that hard to get. Maybe it is. I don't know, because I don't really remember like when I was on the apps. I was never really on Tinder though. I was on Tinder one time like senior year of high school. Me and my friends would just get on Tinder just to see like who was on it around us. We would never actually like talk to any of the guys or meet up with any of the guys, because like, why are we going to do that? Because we literally go to high school and we like are around so many people. Why do we need to use a dating app? Like, we just wanted to see like who we knew that were on the apps. And then we also wanted to see like if there's any other cute boys that we don't know. But other than that, like, I used Bumble and Hinge and stuff when I was single, but I don't really remember if we even had to be verified at that time. Like, I don't think that they even really verified you. So I don't know. And I think that it's so obvious that like if you put his phone number in and he doesn't come up, like, it's probably not him. I don't know, but I'm interested to see, because if it is and he's like pulling this off somehow, I will be genuinely shocked. This is like the tiniest update, but it says, update, message this girl saying, oh, that's weird because husband actually didn't have his phone on him this last few days since he dropped it. And her response was, oh, okay, welcome. Okay. Hello? What are you saying right now? Okay, this is another update. 4 days later. Just really quickly, my last post got capped because I didn't use a throwaway account. For some reason, I thought it didn't matter if I used a throwaway or not, as I don't care if anyone tracked me, but Reddit capped, so I thought I would use a throwaway account to update it. From what I can tell, this should be allowed, so I guess we'll find out. So it's not too big an update, but it's enough to definitely confirm my husband is totally innocent, and bitches be crazy. So a few days have gone by since that woman messaged me, and I was telling my sister-in-law about the whole thing as we were visiting them last night, and I showed her the messages from the crazy chick. Now, in my original, I mentioned how I've been getting follow requests on Instagram from girls I didn't know in that town and just proceeded to ignore them. This is true, but I realized I got a detail mixed up. The woman who messaged me to say husband was cheating had messaged me through Facebook, not Instagram. My bad. So anyways, I show my sister-in-law the message on Facebook from that girl, and she asks who she is. Husband said he didn't recognize her name at all, but her face seems familiar, so he thinks it must be Charlene's bestie from college. He had only briefly met her once before they split. My sister-in-law mentions how strange it is that the name is so generic and how there's absolutely nothing on her Facebook profile. The name on Facebook was something like Sarah Smith, the most generic name out there. Brother-in-law goes to Charlene's Facebook and searches to see Sarah and Charlene aren't friends on Facebook. We dig through this Sarah chick some more to see that there are no friends, no cover photo, no statuses, no birthday, nothing. And it says the Facebook profile was created the day that she messaged me. We think it's definitely Charlene behind that account. She specifically made it to reach out to me. I just never thought to view her profile at all. Someone in the Reddit comments before had mentioned to me maybe those girls on Instagram trying to add me might be fake accounts, maybe by Charlene or her friends. I thought there's no way she would go that far and just thought nothing of it, but maybe they were right. Because it was about an hour after I denied the Instagram follow that Sarah Smith messaged me on Facebook. So bitches do be crazy after all. I didn't think Charlene would ever take it that far. Faking Tinder messages, okay, but also faking a Facebook profile? Y'all were right. I apologized to my husband for even feeling the slightest doubt for a second, and he said it was completely fine. He understands completely, and he doesn't blame me. And if I ever feel uncomfortable about anything, I'm free to ask for his phone or to talk to him. But seeing as in the amount of years we've been together, I never needed to go through his phone, I don't think that I'll start now. Now it's a good story for us to laugh at, and jokes on Charlene, because this just ended up making us even closer than before. People really do be crazy, but it's like, how old are you guys? Because that is crazy. The boyfriend is 28, so like I'm assuming that the ex is also 28. It's like, that's insane. That's like if I don't know when did they date? In high school? they dated like when they were 18 and 19 or something, or 19 and 20 or something. Like, that's crazy. That's like if I like was going to do that to my ex-boyfriend from like high school, which I would never do. That just would be, if I were to do that, it would be because I am so lonely and I have nothing better to do with my life, and I'm like just at home behind a screen wanting to do something like weird to someone that I literally don't even know anymore. Like, that was so long ago that they dated, and that's just so weird. Like, what kind of problems do you have to have? Like, a lot, I think. And also reminds me of someone that DM'd me saying that my boyfriend was cheating on me. Like, some dumb ass fake account that was like some random name, like, something, the way that it was typed was so crazy. I was like, what are you talking about? I just laughed and deleted it because it was so stupid and fake, obviously, but it's actually crazy because I can't even imagine like people that are, because like I have 40,000 subscribers on here, okay, on YouTube, and it's like, why would a person care so much to do that? I can't even imagine what people go through that have like millions of followers. Like, I can only imagine they probably are always getting like DMs from like fake accounts saying that their boyfriends are cheating on them, because trolls on the internet are crazy. Like, actually crazy. It's really, you think that it's crazy. Before, I thought it was crazy. Like, I would see stuff, but then I'd be like, well, just ignore it. Like, I would always just think like in my head when influencers or like creators would talk about getting DMs or whatever about that stuff, I would just be like, just ignore it. But then when you actually start getting those messages when you're a creator, you realize like, whoa, this is like actually crazy and kind of like scary, because it's like, you seem so invested in my life that you would take so much time out of your day to like go through all of this just to message me crazy stuff and make stuff up. And it's like, I would never do that. Like, I never have done that in my life. Well, I'm really glad that ended in a happy ending. I didn't think it was going to end in a happy ending. Like, I never really do when it comes to like a man. I never really give them the benefit of the doubt, to be honest with you. So thank you, guy, for actually being a normal human being. Golf clap. Wait, what's the golf clap? I don't even know. But my back hurts so fucking bad right now. It healed. I told you guys a long time ago, like 2 months ago or something, that I tweaked it really bad and it was so bad. And then of course today, after it's healed and it's been feeling good for the past like month, and I was doing hack squats and I just felt it. It was like my third set, and I go down, come back up. I feel my back tweak, and I was like, fuck. So I'm really annoyed. I'm gonna have to wear my back brace tomorrow because I have a horseback riding lesson. I have to like clean the hooves. I forget what it's called when you like pick the hooves or whatever. And that always makes my back hurt because you have to like bend down. Guys, that's not good. Like, what? I'm 27 years old. Why am I literally have a grandma back right now? I don't know what to do to fix it though. Like, I'm not going to a chiropractor because I'm scared of them. If you're a chiropractor, I'm sorry, but I'm scared of chiropractors because I don't know. They're just like, I don't know. Okay. Nothing against you, but I just feel like you don't really have to go through that much schooling. And like, if you're going to be cracking and breaking my back and like doing weird shit to my spine and stuff, I think I personally, if someone's doing that to my body, want you to have a little bit more like education and like certain, like, I want a doctor to do that. I would rather have a doctor do that. Yeah. So I don't know what to do. I hate the doctor, hate going to the doctor. Okay. Anyways, let's move on to the next story. The title is, my 20 female boyfriend, 20 male, changed his relationship status on Facebook from in a relationship with no specified person to in a relationship with a girl that is not me. I feel really terrible right now. Michael and I have been dating since April 2010. We started dating when we were in 8th grade, so for just over 6 years now. Up to this point, we have had an amazing relationship. We are each other's best friend through and through. We've definitely had our ups and downs, but we've never officially broken up. We've always worked through any issues that we had. He's never given me a reason to distrust him until now. We go to different colleges. We are about 6 hours apart from each other for most of the year. Spring break of last year, freshman year, I went to his college to visit him, and I met his friend Kayla, 20 female, who was very close to him, yet he had never mentioned her before. I wasn't expecting him to. I'm not that jealous girlfriend that won't let her boyfriend be friends with other girls, but given her behavior, I thought that me not knowing about her was suspicious. She was very nice to me, but she was openly flirty with Michael, even in front of me. She was touchy with him. She made suggestive comments, etc. Michael always looked extremely uncomfortable, and he never flirted back, but he never told her to stop either. Several days into my visit, I confronted him about this. I asked him if she knew that I was his girlfriend. He said yes, and I told him that her behavior was crossing the line and that he needed to set boundaries with her, starting with telling her to cut it out. He apologized and said that he would. After that, Kayla stopped flirting with him in front of me. But the day I left to go back home, she said one thing to me, and I remember her exact words, quote, "You know, there was no need to worry. Don't you trust him?" Unquote. That kept swimming around and around in my head for weeks on end. She said it so cattily, and it was coming from her of all people. I tried to shake it off and not think about it, but it was really hard. She just said it in a way that sounded so, I know something you don't. I told Michael about it, and he said not to worry about it. She was always saying things like that. I kept pressing it, but he insisted that it was nothing more than just a jealous comment, so I dropped it. Time passed. Kayla added me on Facebook, and I accepted just to be friendly. This was when I started seeing a lot of posts about her and Michael that never came up on my feed before because Michael never posted about things that they did together. They went to the movies together. They went to games together. They went to concerts together. They went everywhere. In every post, Kayla added a caption that had a nickname for him in it. I could tell it was a special nickname because she used it every time. In the pictures, I saw that Michael always looked silently uncomfortable. He always had a weak smile on his face. I know his uncomfortable facial expression, and he was wearing it in those posts. I felt somewhat paranoid, but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to come off as a jealous girlfriend who can't trust her boyfriend because he has a close female friend. I also didn't unfriend Kayla because I did feel like the drama would ensue. About a half an hour ago, I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw that Michael changed his relationship status. Before, it was in a relationship without any specific person mentioned. Mine is the same way. And now it said in a relationship with blank. And that blank was Kayla. I felt like my heart dropped down into my stomach. The post was made 10 minutes before I saw it. There were already several comments on the post. I clicked to look at them. The first few comments were people saying congratulations and about time and things like that. I don't know any of the people who made those comments. The second to last comment was Michael. ... A joke, guys. A joke. Don't take Kayla seriously. Kayla, I hate you. The last comment was Kayla saying, haha, aw, sweetheart, don't be in denial. 10 people liked her comment. I stared at that post for what felt like an eternity. And then I checked my phone. I have several texts, all from my friends and one from my mom and dad and sister, all of them asking why Michael changed his relationship status. I haven't answered any of them yet. Michael hasn't texted me. 2 things. Is he cheated on me, or is this just a joke, as he said? And if he is cheating on me, what do I do? What the hell? Your boyfriend doesn't have a female friend. He has a female girlfriend. He has another girlfriend. Because why are you doing all of those things with another girl, mind you, while not telling your girlfriend? Like, what? That truly makes no sense. You didn't know of this girl. He's never brought her up. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to hang out with Kayla. Yet he's spending every second and doing everything with her, but he's never once bringing her up. That is so odd. And the boundaries clearly aren't there. They are clearly lacking. Kayla also seems like she's okay being the other woman. Like, you don't mind being the mistress, I guess, because you clearly know that they're dating. And you're here, like, it's crazy. Those people do exist, but for me, it's really hard to get my brain around. Michael, that is just embarrassing. No, because truly, I would break up with my boyfriend if he did that solely because that's such that you embarrassed me. You literally changed your Facebook status to dating someone else, and all my friends and family are going to see that. You embarrassed me. Ta-ta for now. Because why are you doing that? Like, that's so embarrassing. You are trying to embarrass your girlfriend. Like, you don't do that. You don't do that. That's just so weird. And also, Kayla, he needs to enforce some boundaries with Kayla if he's really just friends with her. And it doesn't seem like that's the case at all. And this Kayla girl's pissing me off as well. Because why are you flirting with my boyfriend right in front of me? Okay, edit. Michael is home from the summer, so I went over to his house. I knocked on the front door, and Kayla opened the door wearing a bathrobe. Wait, what? Is this a fucking prank? This is a fake prank. Kayla lives 4 hours away from us, a state over. I asked her what the hell she was doing there. She smirked and said Michael wasn't home. I told her she didn't answer my question. Her reply was, I'm visiting for the week. I didn't have anything to say to that. I felt absolutely destroyed inside. I turned around without another word and started walking back to my car. She shouted after me, sorry things had to end this way. F her. Who the F is she to say that to me? He was cheating on me. What? Why is that literally a movie? Why is that a movie? Because that's literally giving, like, I don't even know. I'm just immediately thinking of Vampire Diaries when I think Elena goes to the Salvatores and then Lexi opens the door. I feel like she had like a robe on or something and it looked like very suggestive, but it wasn't anything. But that's what it's giving to me. Okay. Final update. Next day, same post. Michael came to my house. When I opened the door, I found him crying his eyes out. I asked him what was going on, and this was all I heard until I closed the door on him. He slept with Kayla just before they left for winter break freshman year. She was indeed visiting him, and he didn't tell me because he didn't know how to. When I went to his house to talk to him, he was home. He was very, 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 many varies sorry. I don't even know what to say to anyone in my real life about this. My parents aren't home, my sister isn't home, and I haven't told any of my friends. Any advice now that it's true he cheated on me? Any advice? Small edit, I just texted him, it's over, so I've dumped him. Okay, any advice, girl? Yeah, dump him. Like, if you wouldn't have edited that, I would have been like, girl, stand up and dump him. He clearly has. If you are asking for advice if someone cheated on you, like if you need advice about that, the answer is always dump him, because that's really the only solution to that. The top comment says, I know this hurts the OP immensely, but this couldn't have been better for her. In the long run, she'll look back on this in her later years and be grateful for it. Hell, he even couldn't have picked a better time. If I'm being honest, school's on a break, so this won't F with her studies, and she's with her support system. True. I'm just like shocked about the whole bathrobe thing. Like, I can't believe that was even a thing. But hello, like, it's giving fake, but I'm gonna believe that it's real. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, okay? Because it was definitely very detailed of a story. So, guys, I just have to say that on our flight home from New Orleans, the flight attendant, and if you're watching this, girl, hi, love you. The flight attendant came up to me. So she was doing the drink service and she was like, oh my God, it's you. And she recognized me because she said she watches my podcast every day. That's the first time I've had anyone in public like come up and say that they watch my podcast, which it was very surreal. I was like, is this a prank? Because I would never in a million years ever expect that. Like, I would be in public and someone would be like, oh my God, it's you. And she like knew my name and everything. She was like, I watch your podcast every single day. Like, she was so cute. She was like, oh my God, I'm blushing. Like, I was literally so shocked. I was like, what? First of all, she was like, oh my God, it is you. And I was like, oh my God, do I know you? I was like, fuck, do I know who this is? And I'm forgetting who this is. And then she was like, I watch you every day. And I was like, stop. I'm not kidding. That was like, I'm going to remember that forever. That was like so sweet. And I loved it so much. And what are the odds that the flight attendant on our flight of all people would be a viewer of this podcast. Like, that's just insane to me. And me and Jack, I'm going to be so honest, guys. And I'm sorry. This is an unpopular opinion, I know. We didn't really like New Orleans that much. I think I had too many expectations of it. Like, I was expecting it to be more like Savannah, which is like one of my favorite places on earth, Savannah, Georgia. I was expecting it to be similar to that, and it just wasn't at all. And don't get me wrong, like, I think we came at a bad time, okay? Because there was like, I always see all this fun stuff, like, oh my God, there's music on the streets, like all these people are playing trumpets on the streets and like having a grand old time. There was people, but they were on like for the most part, it was a dead town. Like, no one was walking around. It felt like we were the only people there. It was like, are we in a zombie apocalypse? Because there's no one walking the streets. It was like, this is like a walkable city. There's so many places to go, yet we're the only ones walking around. And we walked a collective of 2.5 days. We walked 20 miles. So we walked a lot. The only place that there was people was, I feel like I'm forgetting. I don't remember what the street is. But there's like a street that's like super, super like touristy. Is it Decatur or something? It might be Decatur, or maybe that's not the right road. I don't know. Not Bourbon Street, but there's this other road that's like by the French Market, and there's Cafe Du Monde like everywhere, but the big Cafe Du Monde is there. The first day, like, we were there for literally 2 hours, and we got, because there was so many people at Cafe Du Monde, so we went to Cafe Beignet instead, and there was these two girls. They were such bitches. Like, they were so mean they were at the checkout counter, and they were so mean. And I thought that New Orleans was like Southern hospitality. Like, everyone was really like Southern and nice and would be like super welcoming. No. Tell me why we had like so many bad experiences with the customer service people. The cafe we went to the next morning, the coffee shop, that girl was like a bitch. And I was like, we were so annoyed because we were like, what the hell? Like, why is everyone being so rude? And the thing is like, usually, I've said this so many times, when I meet new people, or when I'm like at the customer service counter, or doing anything having to do with like interacting with like a waiter or like anyone, I'm always try to be super positive and smiley and bubbly and like happy, because I want to make them feel like good. And I just expect that, especially from like a customer service person. I expect them to give me that energy times 20, because that's what I would do. Like, when I worked in like the restaurant industry, I was so bubbly and so nice to everyone. Like, I always wanted, and the customer's always right, because mind you, I understand, like, so we ordered beignets, which they were honestly really good. And then a coffee, we got a nice coffee, an iced coffee. And we asked for 2 pumps of sweetener because we don't really like it that sweet. And we watched the girl put in 4 pumps. And I was like, oh, fuck. She gives it to us, and I was going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, you know what? Maybe it will still be good. No, it tastes like straight syrup. And I'm like, oh, I'm not even going to ask, because she was already a bitch as we were ordering. And I was like, she's so dismissive and so rude. So I was like, I'm not even going to ask, because I'm like scared of her. And then I was like, no, I can't even drink this. And I just paid like $7 for it. I'm not going to just not ask her when it took her 2 seconds to remake. And like, she's like sitting on her phone. Like, she's not busy. She's literally sitting on her phone, like scrolling. So I'm like, okay, she can just remake it really quick for me. I go up to her. I ask her super nicely. I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is just really sweet. Is there any way you could just remake it? And her and her friend that were working behind the counter were yelling at me, and she kept repeating, like, I put 2 pumps, and I go, no, I saw you put. And after someone's mean to me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna match your energy then, because you're arguing with me when I'm the customer, and I asked so nicely for you to remake my coffee, so nicely. You're not busy. It's not like you had all these, like, a rush and you were so busy. And I'm like, and even regardless, like, I know that can be annoying, but like, I do expect to just be like, oh yeah, of course, like, It took her 2 seconds to remake it, but they were yelling at me, and then we were like, can you just remake? Like, Jack had to come up and stick up for me because they were literally yelling at me, and they like kept going back and forth with me, and I was just like, I saw you put 4 pumps in. Like, I saw you put 4 pumps in. She kept saying, no, she was yelling at me. I cannot stress it enough. It was actually crazy, like the craziest experience ever. And we were like, can you just please remake it? Like, instead of arguing. And then she remade it like really quickly. I'm not kidding. It took her 9.5 seconds. It was crazy. And it was so much better. Thank God. But like, that was so annoying because we had been there for 2 hours and they were already so rude. And I was like, great. We're having like, I thought we were going to have a good time here. Like, what the hell? So yeah. Also, there was like a lot of construction work going on, which was kind of like, I get it, like, you know, obviously, but it's not like they're just not gonna do construction work because we're coming into town, okay? But it was just kind of like a lot of roads were blocked off because of the construction work and stuff. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm saying this in a bad way because of the government, but there's like a lot of homeless people there, and it was like really sad. There was like so many. They all had dogs as well, which was interesting because I feel like I never see, I mean, once in a while, but not like, it must be a really popular thing because they all had dogs. I thought that was like really sad because it seems like they don't have anywhere to go. Like, it doesn't seem like I don't know, I could be wrong. I'm sure there is like a homeless shelter or something, but it doesn't seem like there's like enough resources for them. That made me really sad. And I really, like, every person that I pass, I was like, I wish I could do, like, there's so many of them. I was like, I wish I could do something. I wanted so badly to like go get a bunch of food and just like hand it out to everyone, like I saw on TikTok, this girl doing that. But I met one of the homeless guys was walking around, and he had a dog and a cat, okay? And her name was Shaniqua, and the cat's name was Shaniqua. And it was so cute because she was just like on his shoulder as he was walking around and stuff. And then he had a little sweater on his dog, and like, it was clear that he like really cared about them a lot. And he had even gotten his cat fixed, which is so crazy to me because that, like, he said that when she would be like in heat before, and she would try to like, she would just be crazy. And so he got her fixed. And I was like, how did you get her fixed? I'm sure there are, like, it just seems like a really responsible thing to do. And I'm like, that's so cool that he did that. I'm sure, I hope they have like programs there for that, like, fix animals for free. I'm assuming that's how that happened. But then I saw him on Saturday, I think it was, or no, Sunday. I saw him on Monday. I saw him on Monday, okay? And I pet Shaniqua. She was literally so sweet. And then the next day, we saw him again, and he was sitting on the ground by this restaurant with one of his friends, and he had his dog and his cat, and then his friend had a dog as well. And I was like, oh my God, Shaniqua. And she was wearing a little ducky vest with like a little hood. And I felt really bad because I was like, I went to pet her and stuff, and he was laughing because I like remembered her name and I recognized her, and it was really cute. And then it seemed like she was really hungry. Like, she was looking in my hands, like as if I had like a treat or something to give her. And then that guy's friend that was sitting with him was like, do you guys mind like giving me a few dollars, or could you buy us some like Chinese food? I don't have cash ever. So they were right next to a Chinese restaurant. I was like, sure, I'll buy you guys some Chinese food. So I bought both of them some Chinese food from that restaurant, and then I was just like, I gave them the Chinese food. I was petting the cat again, and then I was like, do you guys need like cat food or like dog food? And his friend was like, I just need a few dollars. And I was like, I don't have cash, I'm sorry. And he was like, well, honestly, I'm just trying to get some alcohol, and I'm gonna be straight up with you. And I was like, no, I love that. Honesty is the best policy. But I was like, do you guys need cat food or dog food? And the guy that I had met the previous day, not his friend, was like, yes, please, if there's any way that you could get some, like, yes. And so I was like, okay. So then I walked to CVS, got some cat and dog food, and then I walked back. I was on a mission that day, like a mission, because the CVS was not super far. It was like kind of far though. I really wanted to get it quickly for them because I didn't know if they were gonna like move at any point, and I was like stressed because I was like, are you guys like going somewhere, or are you gonna stay in this spot for a little bit? So yeah, then I went and got some cat and dog food for them, and I felt really good about that because I was like, okay, I fed them. I mean, I know it's only one meal, and like hopefully they made it last a couple meals. I don't know, because the Chinese food, it's usually a lot. Like they give you a big portions of food. So I don't know, but I always feel like, I don't know. You know you know what I mean? It's like I feel bad because it's like, yeah, I can buy you like a meal, but then tomorrow you're hungry, and like, what are you gonna do then? But obviously I can't solve world hunger or homelessness, be just me, you know? So, but I expect a lot for myself. I felt good because I like fed them, and then I fed their animals for like a few days because I got them slightly big bags. It was the only bags that they were offering at CVS, but I'm like, okay, now I know that like you don't have to worry about getting your animals food, and they can eat at least for like, I feel like dry food lasts a good amount because you don't really have to give them that much because they're so like, it's such high calories. So yeah, that's my story. There were so many people that like I passed that I wanted to help, but I felt like I don't know, I felt like it was a sign. Like I saw this guy yesterday, so then I see him again today, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, but that was really pretty much all we did that day. we went shopping before that. We went to the mall, and then after we went to like the park. Yeah, I just don't think like, I think it's so much like Florida there that I think that's why I didn't really like it that much. The buildings are really cool, don't get me wrong. Like I know it's all like super historic and from like the 1800s, but it was just like no one was really walking around. It didn't feel like what I thought that it was going to be, like people, jazz bands here and there and there. Like, yeah, there was jazz bands in the jazz clubs and stuff, in the music clubs, and we went to like a couple of those. But from what I saw online, it looks like they're outside on the streets, like so many people around all the time, but it literally felt like no one was there. So that was something that was like kind of, I didn't really like about it. And then also they didn't really have like, they have like palm trees and stuff because it's like, I don't know, I guess Louisiana has palm trees, but I was like excited to get away from that kind of nature and get into like some cool like willow trees and grandfather looking trees, that kind of stuff. And that's not what it was. So I think I just had expectations that were not lining up with what it actually was, and no one was there, and I was like kind of disappointed about that because I thought it was going to be like a fun party all around town. I have to get up because I really need to stretch out my back because I'm about to die. But I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye! Storytime Society is now available on all listening platforms. If you are on any of those listening platforms, I would really appreciate it if you rated me 5 stars. Thanks for all the support. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.